Dear participants, welcome to our 6th International Mayors Conference, together with our co-host, the City of Vienna, and Schule im Aufbruch. This year's title is Promoting Social Cohesion, Youth Participation in Our Cities and Communities. We have come some way since 2015 and 16, when we founded Act.Now, André, Elke, Zuckermann and myself, in the midst of the large refugee movements towards Europe. Today, the issues have shifted from humanitarian emergencies to successful integration in the receiving societies, to a peaceful and prosperous future in democratic humanistic cultures. In 2 words, we should call it social cohesion. You will hear more about it shortly and in the coming 2 days. As you all can see when you look around, we are in a historic building here with no daylight, and its history is quite dark as well. During World War II, in the 1940s, these old walls were a camp for forced laborers of the Nazis and for deportations to concentration camps of the German Reichsbahn, you know, the German national railways. Then there were many people from different backgrounds and nationalities interned here. Today, we are many people from different backgrounds here in a free democratic society. We are joining forces to keep it this way for the future of you all, young people, together with you, the owners of the future. I'm happy and honored to welcome Mrs. Doris Schmidauer. Please come along. Spouse of the Federal President of the Republic of Austria, who will convey you his welcome address. And I'm especially happy that you're here today, because people here haven't seen you much around, and we hope that it's going to change real fast.
Thank you. I could take this. So, dear participants, it's my pleasure that the 6th International Mayors Conference now, promoting social cohesion and youth participation in our communities, is once again taking place under the patronage of my husband, the Federal President. He very much regrets not being able to welcome you all personally, but I'm very happy to convey his message and his greetings to you. In today's world, we are facing many challenges, some political, some economic, and some environmental, just to name a few. Societies are getting more and more diverse, as are the needs of their members. We live in villages, towns, and large cities. We differ in age, gender, political views, social status, and how we choose to live our professional and private lives, and in our religious beliefs. What we all share is space, and we must shape all this common space to create a future worth living in for all. Social cohesion therefore happens on the communal level, fostering social cohesion, caring equally for all residents, are key tasks of mayors and regional politicians, and it's their political obligation to shape their administrations accordingly. Children, youth, and young adults are the owners of the future. They are the ones who will have to cope with the shortcomings of today's political roadmaps and decisions. It's therefore essential that we make room for young people and hear their voices, by allowing them to actively participate in decision-making processes in all political, educational, economic, environmental, and social matters concerning them. Change is part of our lives. We don't know yet which challenges we'll have to meet in the coming years. Politicians, NGOs, scientists, and actually every citizen, therefore, must participate in the development of processes of cooperation and co-creation to cope with changes on a global, national, regional and local level, and to create bold solutions to benefit everyone, but especially the young people of today. Finally, the challenges we face in our world and our societies have reached a level of complexity that just can't be solved by a handful of politicians or even the most skilled experts working in isolation. We need a deep commitment to cooperation across all borders, all areas of expertise and all age groups. I'm exceptionally pleased that the many young people from all over Europe and the MENAT region participating in this conference will have the opportunity to meet and exchange experiences and ideas on an equal footing with regional politicians and administrators, educators, experts, and NGO representatives. I invite you all to share your insight, to listen to and to learn from each other, and to develop innovative and bold solutions to promote social cohesion in your communities, schools, and workplaces. Thank you and good luck.
Thank you, Madam President. May I ask our co-host, City Councillor Jürgen Czernohorszky from the city of Vienna, to join here and to talk to you. I'm looking forward.
Thank you, Patricia. It is such a pleasure for me to welcome you here in Vienna for the 6th time in a row, and being a co-host of this wonderful conference, and for these wonderful people, you makes me really, really very proud. Patricia already told us about the history of this place. The city area we're in now is a quite special one. It is a very dynamic one. It's an inner city urban development area. In the next few years, more than 1,000 apartments will be built. Families will move in around here. Children will grow up and learn. People will find their work. Enterprises will be built. It will be a totally new neighborhood in the midst of existing neighborhoods. And therefore, social cohesion has to be renegotiated. That's all about the same in urban regions all over the world. Urban regions are dynamic places. Urban regions face permanent change, economic and social innovation, ever-increasing social diversity, and that is why social cohesion is so important, and that is why social cohesion has to be renegotiated and has to be worked on every day, especially in times of a very high speed of this social changing. It is particularly important to pay more attention on the topic and to make sure that our cities are places in which everybody can live a decent life, not only the well-off, and to make sure that our cities are places in which also and especially the weaker can find a way of articulating their interests. And that is the main topic of this conference, and therefore it is so important that we think about what we can do more and what we can learn from each other. Because I deeply believe that only through the involvement of all population groups, we can shape cities together, and we can fight the distrust, fake news, and ongoing right-wing politicians. So it's participation, it's involvement, that shapes our common future, and that saves the possibility that everybody can play an active role. And it's self-empowerment that is the means to battle the fears of the future. And it's self-empowerment that is the tool for an inclusive and solidary society and social peace. Therefore, politicians always have to reach out to the people in the city. And according to my opinion, this is particularly true and particularly important for children and young people. It is our duty to take children and young people on this common path. And therefore, I'm very proud that we have a really, really big thing going on in the next month in the city of Vienna. The Mayor's Network already heard about it yesterday in the City Hall. It is my most important project for the city. Basically, it's a citywide workshop for and with young people. It's called Werkstatt Junges Wien. It's a word game made of workshop and city. Basically, it's giving thousands of young people the opportunity to get involved, to shape their living environment. There will be hundreds of workshops all over the city, hundreds of workshops in schools, in kindergartens, in sport clubs, wherever young people are. Young people will have the opportunity to articulate their ideas, to talk about the society they want to live in, and to talk about the things that have to be changed in order to reach that society. In Werkstatt Junges Wien, young people will phrase out a mission. They will phrase out a mission for us politicians and for the city administration. Well, and after that, we have to work hard on implementing these ideas together, because I'm convinced, as I said before, that only by involving young people, it will be possible to build an inclusive society. Well, that's it. That's what it's all about. Basically, it's a lot of work to do. And expressing desires and concerns creates mutual trust and respect. Therefore, it's definitely worth it to do all this work, because trust and respect is fundamental for social cohesion. Trust and respect is fundamental for a democratization through participation and strengthening of a civic society and civic engagement. And it's the means against divisions in our society. And it's a remedy against populism and the illiberal in our society. So we just have to have the courage to do that. One who had the courage and the passion to do that, one who fought for human rights projects and who was also the winner of the Innovation in Politics Award, was the mayor of Gdansk, Pavel Adamowicz. He fell victim of an assassination attempt by a mentally ill person. It was not a political murder, but a murder in a political climate characterized by hate, devaluation, confrontation rather than empathy, dialogue, and the ability to find compromises. Pavel fought for this ability to find compromises. He was a man who worked for a climate of bridge building. I would ask you all for a brief moment of commemoration for Pavel Adamowicz. Thank you very much. Well, now for the next hours and days, I wish us all a fruitful conference, very many inspiring talks, hopefully very many new friends, and the courage to change the world. Thank you, everybody, to be here. Thank you for your contribution, and thanks above all to André, Elke, Zuckermann, and Patricia Kahane, the initiators of this great conference and their commitment on an inclusive society. It's so great that you are here and that you do that. Thank you very much.
Okay. A very warm welcome from me too. I'm happy to see so many of you. Some of you have been our long friends and were with us when we started with the first conference 3 years ago in 2016. Some of you joined us along the way, and some of you are new and here for the first time. Very warm welcome. This conference was created in a participative way because we said we can't make a conference on participation and design it in our heads or in our office or with our facilitators. So at the beginning of the process, there were 8 focus groups, 6 of them with young people from 10 different countries, 1 of them with the Mayors Network and 1 of them with the working group hosts. Because Act.Now has 5 working groups on children's rights, education, exploitation and human trafficking, gender equality and trauma surviving, and of course the Now Mayors Network. Those groups have been working for the better part of 2 years to come up with idea and realize projects in their field of expertise, and they will continue working, and we are very grateful to all of you that you're doing this. With this year's conference, we return to the motto of our first conference, which was listen, ask, answer, and learn. And this is what we're here for the next 2 days. And I wish us all very, very inspiring days. Thank you very much.
I decided to speak German. I think somebody has to speak German. And I tried hard to learn this language, and I will use it now. Guten Morgen.
Good morning.
Wie schön, dass Sie hier sind.
It's really nice to see you all here, and the most precious thing you bring with you, except your health, is your time. So if I look around this room, I can see it's quite a good example for everything, for what we want to reach together. However, unfortunately, we will not be able to achieve this at the speed as it was still 3 days ago. It was still a very cold, unfriendly room, which did not really trigger very good feelings. However, now it has become a place of coziness, a place of inspiration, of a certain industrial beauty, if I may say so. And just only very few people have made this within a very short time. So one person will be shocked when I just mention his name, George. Gesellschaft, please stand up, who's a great stage designer. Welcome. I'm sorry. Well, that really hurts that you mentioned me. Okay. Well, all these rooms in their design have been worked out in his head, and I have collaborated with him for 40 years, and I have never been deceived. So it's always good to work together with people for a long time without any disappointment. So we of Act.Now, with lots of commitment and love, have tried our best to create the best possible framework conditions for this event, to make sure that this will be crowned by success. To live means to change by learning, and with this in mind, Act.Now has also changed. Now, it lays its focus no longer on the refugee issue, but instead we want to be a workshop of the future, which is open, a laboratory open towards the world, for working out practical solution for the improvement of life conditions of children, young people and adults who have been struggling with anxieties and rejections, and who really do need help badly. So please let us form a family united in friendship today and tomorrow, and let's approach each other and let's listen to each other in friendship, and let's draw the conclusions and consequences from what we have learned. I wish to implement 5 concrete projects, or to work out 5 projects whose implementation we will accompany and support. Projects which also give us bear witness of the fact that we not only have to discuss, but also to act, not only dream, but also put something into reality, to implement. So all of us who are united in this room, we can do it. And because we can do it, we will indeed do it. And with this in mind, let's start. Thank you.